A whole week of my life, I can't even recall. I have to live with this over and over and over. Every day I have to get up. And this, you know what they said? They said it was the little girl, my little daughter, Shelly. She was 4 years old at the time. They said when they pulled her from the wreckage, that she was brain dead. They said that in the hospital, my brother he woke up in Geneva. They brought him over to the hospital in Dothan, Alabama. They get into Dothan, Alabama, and he's talking to the doctor. The doctor is saying, your brother, he's in a coma. He's got 5 life-sustaining injuries. His liver is bleeding. He has a cracked skull. His ribs are broken. We think we can stabilize him. But that little girl, she's en route to UAB Hospital to Birmingham, Alabama. And about the time she reaches there, she won't be alive. They told him that. They said she won't be alive. They said my little Shelly was not going to be alive. And let me tell you something. Here it is. You know, my brother said my family hit their knees, started praying. And people all over, it went out on the wire. Some of you in here may know what I'm talking about. You prayed for my family. And I'm here to tell you, I thank you openly for those prayers, because I wouldn't be standing here right now had not somebody interceded. Little Shelly, she's 6 years old right now. She go through just like what I go through, but she is alive. And she is alive because someone prayed. You go deeper into this story, and they say all kind of people were at the hospital. People flown in all over America. You know, Gene Stallings flew in from Texas. My NFL football players, everybody was trying to get to me, but I don't remember anything. 10 days. I remember November the 29th, 10 days. I remember coming out of this coma. I remember they were taking me to a church. They were taking me in a church. And inside the church, in Hartford, Alabama, was Lucretia and Sydney, my 18-year-old daughter and my 9-year-old daughter. They were taking me to their funeral. I walked in there, and they were carrying me around. And can you imagine? I walked up there to that aisle. I walked up there to that, and I saw them in caskets. I saw my 18-year-old daughter, who always had a smile on her face. My 18-year-old daughter who was in school, who was doing the right things. My 18-year-old daughter, whose birthday was the next day. She was in a casket. I saw my 9-year-old little girl, little Sydney. She loved ballet. She loved dance recitals. That was her theme, you know. She loved dance recitals. I see her in a casket. I'm in a place that I just want to get out. I see faces, people looking at me. And I see her entire fast-pitch softball team that came over. All those girls came over from Andalusia. The faces, those girls were looking at me. I used to go over there and give them motivational speeches, you know, at their softball team. And they loved when I came over there. They said, well, we love when your dad come over, Tootie. Your dad always fires us up. And then all of a sudden, I see their face on that morning, on November 29th, and it's not any smiles. It is brokenness. And they're looking at me as if they're looking at me like, Mr. Stacy, do something. Mr. Stacy, this kid, not Lucretia. Mr. Stacy, do something. What could I do? I just wanted to get out. And it goes deeper. I recall buried them in the gravesite. We leave the cemetery, and I'm telling my brother Bruce, who's home from Virginia, all during that Thanksgiving holiday, I said, you take me home. I said, I just want to go to my home. I just want to go to my room. He said, I can't take you home. He said, I got to take you to Geneva. I said, what are you taking me to Geneva for? He said, that's where Ellen Bronson and Ellie is. That's my wife. That's my son. That's my daughter. You have to remember, they said in the hospital, my memory would never be the same. That I would go in and out of remembering and recalling things. They said they even told me in the hospital over and over. When I come out the coma, I was asking I said, Mama, go get Ellen. I said, Mama, go get her. And they kept saying, son, you lost him. You lost him. You lost him. But I don't remember. But I do remember telling my brother, you take me to Geneva. We're going to Geneva now. This is all in the same day. This started out November 29th that morning, burying Lucretia and Sydney. Now we're getting to November 29th that night. It's dark. And I'm going not into a church this time. I'm going into a funeral parlor. And now I'm walking in and my pastor grabs me by the suit, the same suit that I had on at Lucretia and Sydney's funeral. The same suit. And he said, they're just shells. And I, confused, don't really know what he's talking about. But I break away from him and I see for the first time since November the 19th, I see my 2-year-old little baby. I see little Ellie. I see my little baby in that casket. I can see her now. It's forever burned in my spirit. I can see her. I saw little Ellie, and I saw Ellen, and I saw Bronson. And that's when I knew they were not here. That's when I knew they were gone. And I begged. I went to a place, you talk about suicidal. You looking at Mr. Suicidal. You talking about brokenness. You looking at brokenness. You talking about somebody that didn't have it. You talking about somebody that just wanted to die. You're looking at him. You're looking at him. You can't tell me, don't talk to me about abuse. Don't talk to me about what your daddy did. Don't talk to me about what your mama did. Don't talk to me how bad life is for you. Don't talk to me that way. I know how bad life is. I live that life. I live it every single day. I get up every single day trying to live another day. I was back when my friend Blair Brown came over, I was in there thinking, God, can I do this another day? It's just to survive another day because someone made a choice. Someone made a choice that night to get in the car. I can't even believe I'm out here. I've never seen the pictures of my wreck. I can't look at them. I've never seen them. In fact, my lawyer told me, he said, you don't want to see these pictures. He said, they will horrify you. He said, don't look at it. And I've never looked at them. I can't even be around, when I hear sirens, when I see, I can't be around it. I can't believe that I'm standing here. But I know how I'm standing here. I know what's keeping me right now. And there it is, this individual that made that choice that night. You see, all of you in here, say what you want to say. Say how bad your life is. This individual, he died that night too. He died that night too. He died that night. They said he'd come out the windshield when he tried to run off 3 other people before he got to my van. Look how angry he was. Look how his mind was totally gone. He tried to run off 3. If you listen to the 911 phone calls to the people that called in, and that they said he went 12 miles before he got to my van that night. He was on a mission. How do you get to that point where you want to take your life or you want to take someone else's life? How do you get that point? You get to that point because you have become accustomed to making the wrong choice.